Welcome to this edition of the SKNIS Week in Review. In this program, we recap significant activities of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis over the past week. Coming up, Minister Phipps reiterates the government's position on a COVID-19 vaccine mandate, NEMO rebrands its online presence, teachers saluted for exceptional work during the pandemic, and St. Kitts and Nevis observes International Day of Older Persons. Those stories are more and next on the SKNIS Week in Review for the period October 1 to 7, 2021. Hello and welcome. There is no justifiable reason to implement a mandate for a COVID-19 vaccine at this time. The position of the government was reiterated by the Honorable Wendy Phipps, Minister of Labour and co-chair of the Disaster Mitigation Council on Wednesday during the NEOC COVID-19 briefing.
St. Kitts and Nevis has the fortune of being the first and leading jurisdiction within CARICOM in terms of the vaccination rate that we are fortunate to have. We have over 70% of the target population that has already had at least one dose. And we are almost at 70% with having the target population being double dosed in terms of getting 2 doses of either the AstraZeneca and now that we have the Pfizer coming on board.
Minister Phipps, however, noted that there are special groups of persons who should eagerly step forward to take a jab.
In the case of healthcare workers, persons who teach other people's children, especially children below the age of 12, we would think that they will take the moral high ground and get themselves vaccinated because those children cannot protect themselves.
Meanwhile, authorities within the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education have held meetings to consider plans to implement a secondary school vaccination program. Such a program is not unusual in St. Kitts and Nevis. On Wednesday, Medical Chief of Staff of the Joseph N. France General Hospital, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, gave a progress report on the early stage planning taking place.
Just yesterday, there was a virtual meeting between members of the Ministry of Health and executives in the Ministry of Education. Present in that meeting, we had all heads and deputy heads of the primary and secondary schools and persons from the Early Childhood Development Program, where we spoke about the vaccines and the plans to educate our parents and teenagers about the vaccination. We would be having a number of virtual PTA meetings with the parents and guardians who need more information about the vaccine. I can tell you that the first one is scheduled for tomorrow evening at 6:30. We'll be speaking with a number of the schools virtually and answering questions from the parents. And within the following week, we should be scheduling sessions where the teenagers can come in with their parents or guardians to be vaccinated.
Teachers across the Twin Island Federation were commended for their unwavering commitment to duty as they continue to facilitate face-to-face learning in an uncertain environment due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Tuesday, October 5 was World Teachers' Day, and Minister of Education, the Honorable John Powell, expressed deep gratitude for all teachers who he said were on the front line of the pandemic.
I use this occasion to affirm teachers at all levels, early childhood, primary, secondary, and tertiary, and to say a sincere thank you for going above and beyond to ensure that the continuity of students' learning is given top priority. Today, the country celebrates our teachers for the multifaceted role that they have taken on in the fight against the pandemic. The nation celebrates teachers for their innovativeness and creativity in ensuring that students' needs are addressed. St. Kitts and Nevis celebrates its teachers for their commitment and dedication in reporting to work daily. The Federation celebrates you, our teachers, for the many personal sacrifices and selflessness in giving your time, expertise, and personal resources for the cause of education in this our beloved country.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMO, is preparing to launch its newly rebranded social media accounts and website to enhance the effectiveness of its public awareness and alert systems. NEMO's Public Relations Officer Michelle Rodriguez said that the agency embarked on a new digital platform initiative 6 weeks ago. The effort was supported by lecturer Dr. Ricardo Niels and 4 students from the Division of Technical Vocational Education Management Studies at the C.F. Bryant College.
By the end of this week, I must announce that the public will be seeing the new homepages of our social platforms as well as the new branding of the agency. With regards to our website, the residents will be seeing a more interactive website. Also, the dissemination of our information, we're using more interactive tiles, that can engage and reach our residents. Also, a part of the initiative, we have used, explore different forums in which we can disseminate our information and get our information across, because in our society, different persons are drawn to different mediums.
When a disaster strikes, teams are mobilized to assess the damage and to recommend the deployment of necessary resources to bring a sense of normalcy to the situation as soon as possible. Livingston Pemberton, an engineer at the Public Works Department, is a subcommittee member of the Damage Assessment and Needs Analysis Committee. He gave some insight into the process that is activated after a disaster.
We have a particular mechanism that we use in order to do damage assessment. And what this does is that it allows us to use a systematic methodology for doing the assessment. It means that all of the persons who are doing the assessment, they would have been trained, they will be following the same methodology, so that the information that comes out will be very consistent. Now, the damage assessment will then inform identifying what our needs are.
St. Kitts and Nevis joined other countries around the world in marking the International Day of Older Persons, which was commemorated on October 1. The theme for the international observation was Digital Equity for All Ages, which highlights the importance of access and participation in the digital world. Minister of Social Development, the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, delivered an address to mark the occasion.
It is widely recognized and understood that addressing ageism must lie at the core of any strategic and holistic response to population aging. It is against this backdrop that the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs has committed towards finalizing the National Development Aging Policy, which will provide the blueprint for the full inclusion of older persons in all aspects of our society. Moreover, it demonstrates our wholehearted commitment to align our policies and programs as we aim to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. At the heart of the Sustainable Development Goals is a promise to leave no one behind and to reach furthest behind first.
Another international observation that was observed in St. Kitts and Nevis was World Habitat Day. The October 4 occasion was held under the theme Accelerating Urban Action for a Carbon-Free World. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Public Infrastructure, the Honorable Sean Richards, said that the future of our planet depends on international, regional and local governments and organizations, communities, academic institutions, the private sector and all other relevant stakeholders collaborating to create sustainable, carbon-neutral, inclusive urban centers.
In 2015, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, in its wisdom, decided to create and promote a new department, the Urban Development Unit, UDU, to set and implement new standards and policies for sustainable urban development with the intention to help us rethink how we plan, manage, and live in our urban centers. The policies and projects which have been designed and are undertaken by the UDU bring forth a roadmap for communities like Bastille, Sandy Point, and Keyon to serve as engines of prosperity and centers of cultural and social well-being while protecting our precious environment.
The Deputy Prime Minister said the Urban Development Unit is committed to providing basic services for all citizens, ensuring that all citizens have access to equal opportunities and face no discrimination, promoting measures that support a cleaner St. Kitts and Nevis, and strengthening the resilience in cities to reduce the risk and impact of disasters. The UDU also fully respects the rights of migrants and works to improve connectivity and support innovative green initiatives and promote safe, accessible, and green public spaces. And finally, Minister of Sports, the Honourable John L. Powell, expressed condolences to the family of Anthony Johnson, who passed away on Sunday. The minister said his passing was, quote, a great loss to the Federation. Johnson was an accomplished attorney and sport administrator who played a significant role in placing St. Kitts and Nevis football in an enviable position regionally and internationally. His passing is not only a huge blow to regional sports, but also to the Caribbean's professional circle, end quote. Johnson was a prominent member of the legal fraternity and the immediate past president of the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association. We here at SKNIS express deepest condolences. That's all for this edition of the SKNIS Week in Review. For more information on these and other stories, visit us at sknis.gov.kn. I'm Ian Richards.